Hello everyone, James Baker here, and today I have a great call with a gentleman from India. He does business online, sells stuff, might provide some services, and he has questions for me. He wants to start up his U.S. entity, his U.S. company, and he wants to do it right. He wants to know what he can and can't do. Should he have a more complicated structure? Should it be more simple? Where can he send his money? How can he manage it? You know, it's all a lot of the basic kind of questions, but there's some different points in here because we go over a little bit of like a little bigger picture stuff. So I think you're gonna love the call, whether or not you're from India. If you're from India, it makes more sense to watch it. If you're not from India, it's still a great call. I think we get a lot out of it. I'm gonna stop rambling here. Check the description. I just updated it, and if you want to see more videos like this, definitely subscribe to the channel right now. It's the little red button, and I will see you. Let's go to the call. Let's go. Let's do it. Hey, good morning.
How's it, Jim?
I'm
Can you
doing.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thanks for waiting for me.
Oh, no problem.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
What's your name again? I don't have the calendar details up. I just like jumped on my computer. I just got to the office.
My name's Suraj.
Suraj.
Yeah,
Awesome. I think I saw the notes. You're from India, right? You're Indian in India?
right. Yeah.
Great. Nice to meet you. Thanks for showing up. I'm late to almost every meeting I ever do, but I do show up. So happy to be here. Happy to meet you. Why don't you tell me, I guess you're calling from India, right?
Yeah, I am.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and let me know what questions you have, what you're doing for business and everything, and we can get to it.
Okay. So I actually already run an online business. I sell globally, but what I'm looking for is privacy. What I don't want is my name showing up in a public record. For example, if I were to set up a company in the UK or anywhere in Europe, uh, check the company name and your name pops up. I don't want that happening, and which is where I see an LCC sort of coming into the picture. Sort of makes sense because it keeps me out of the public records.
Yes.
So,
That's
so I mean, I would have gone ahead and done all of it, but I wanted to check first with someone in the know before I go, went about structuring something.
perfect. So you sell online stuff. You have a clothing, you said? You sell clothing?
No. I don't sell clothing. I sell paintings.
Oh, you sell paintings. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I actually buy paintings online. That's where I buy them from. I don't go to the painting store. But that's very, very good. Yeah, so you want privacy. That's your most important thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you're
I mean,
considering
I'm sort of getting into other businesses as well. So I'm trying to keep everything separate, and then probably having one company that rules them all, so to speak. And that one company I'd like to keep, under the radar.
so you're paying taxes in India?
Yeah, as and when I need to, because I pay tax on income that I receive. Right. So what I pay myself is what I pay tax on.
Okay.
Otherwise, everything else is held elsewhere.
So without knowing, so let's okay, I guess I'll explain a little bit to you, answer your question. So I mean, you could have like an offshore entity, like a trust or an offshore, like a British Virgin Islands or Belize corporation, and have that own an LLC, and then you operate out of an LLC. And that way you're not paying tax in the US, you're not paying tax in Belize, and you only pay tax in India on what you paid yourself. And that's a little bit, that's like more of a complex structure. But the one thing I want to kind of let you know is that with the US company, none of your information will be public at all, but you still have to, when you file your reports, tell the IRS basically who the ultimate owner is, which would be yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's the Corporate Transparency Act is another one that's coming up for basically every US company has to tell the FinCEN who the owner is. But apart from that, everything is complete. And then I guess the last thing that's actually really important is that whenever you apply for bank accounts in the US or any kind of financial accounts, you're always going to need to show who the owner is. You can't just say, oh, it's this foreign company. You have to say it's you. But again, that's all, again, still private information. but
Right.
that's kind of how it's done.
Okay. So here's I don't know if you have my what I've written up uh, previously, but anyway, here's what I've sort of done already. I've sort of zeroed in on two states that I think I'd want to open an LLC in. It's more so it's more because of the research I've done in terms of which one was more private, etc., etc. One was New Mexico, the other one was in Delaware. Now, what would you think is, which one of the two do you think is a better fit in terms of privacy?
I mean, I use Wyoming the most, but to be honest with you, Delaware, Wyoming, and I think New Mexico too. I don't really use New Mexico very much, but Delaware and Wyoming are both private. You know, you pay a registered agent, you pay someone to open the company for you. That person opens
Okay,
the company, they use their address, and all they have is basically your full name. And then from there, you get all the rest of the stuff you need. So it's basically the same privacy. All they have is your name anyways. It's not like you're sending them your passport, which isn't, just the name isn't that much.
oh, okay. And when I apply for EIN, is the member name associated with it, or is it just LLC that's associated with it?
If you do the SS4 filing, it's really just
Uh-huh.
a name. Again, you're not sending a passport or any kind of identification. You're just sending
Okay,
the name, and then they fill it out and fax it back to you or mail it to you if you do it that way.
okay,
What we do for a lot of our clients is I'll get it online myself, and then I get you an ITIN, and then I will eventually switch you over to be the responsible party when we get your ITIN. I do that because it's much faster, and it's just faster and easier.
okay, cool. So I'll sort of give you how I run the painting business, and I want to know if it would constitute income derived from the U.S. Okay, so the company is not Indian. It's based in Europe. My suppliers are not in India. They're in Southeast Asia. Um, and I directly and I sell globally. Okay, this is including the United States. So when someone in the United States places an order, I fulfill it from Asia. It's shipped directly from Asia to the United States, but the customer pays in dollars into my through Stripe. So now, would that constitute income derived from the U.S. if I were to then move this business into the LLC that I hold in the U.S.?
No, only if you no. I mean, you have nothing. No, it's all about physical presence. So if you don't have an office in the U.S., you really don't have a U.S. trader business. You're just shipping directly from Southeast Asia. You said, right?
Right. So when you mean business, it's my personal business. I mean my personal address, or is it the LLC address?
Well, it's literally about where the work is being done. It doesn't matter what addresses you're using.
Ah, okay, fine, cool. Um, okay, so I assume that's the same for if I were to use Amazon FBA then.
Yes, it's a different concept. Amazon FBA. Let me click my chair. Amazon FBA is a little different. Amazon FBA is going to manage your inventory for you, but using Amazon FBA, they're not a dependent agent. They're an independent company, so that you're contracting to do that work. So, without getting into too much detail, at this point, it's still kind of understood that having a service like this doesn't constitute a U.S. trader business, like using Amazon FBA.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Um, I take it that you guys help in filing form 5472 and 1120.
Yes.
Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
And how much does it cost? What's the heart attack like?
Well, we have like a renewal service, and it's something we're tweaking with for next year. But in the past, we've done it for 1,500. But I mean, just the form itself. But usually, we do the registration and then the form, and then kind of have it's like a membership program. You can use our address, and you can reach out to us for support and legal documents and stuff like that, and then we'll help you with whatever you need.
Okay. What about just the filing? Is
I've done it for, I'm trying to find ways to lower it, but I've done it for 1,000, 1,250, more or less like that much.
okay. Okay. I'm thinking of opening a Wise account for banking for the LLC. I want to know if the U.S. IRS or the government would know of these bank details.
They probably not unless you tell them. I mean, it's not a bank, it's a money transmitter. So I don't think they report to the IRS. I think if there's suspicious transactions, they might report to FinCEN, but generally they're registered in one of the states. They're going to be registered as a money transmitter business.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure
Okay.
who they're reporting to, but I don't think it's to the IRS.
Okay. And another question I had was, let's say I deal in crypto. I trade in crypto. So if I were to move this cryptocurrency sales into the LLC bank account, how would that affect Form 5472 and 1120?
I mean, I guess there would be,
How
I guess there would be contributions.
okay. And it doesn't matter what if I sell on an exchange in the US? Does that matter, or if I sell on an exchange in Europe, would
Well,
it
I mean,
matter
it's more
in
of a,
terms of where the
it's not
money
really
came from?
it's not really an IRS issue. It's more of a banking issue, and it's working with the having the banks that allow you to do those kind of deals. The banks don't like cryptocurrencies, so if you're transmitting to and from exchanges a lot, it could raise issues with the banks that you're using.
Okay.
But otherwise, like
Um,
there's not like a tax implication. They would the purchase and sale of cryptocurrencies by a non-resident with no U.S. trade or business wouldn't be taxable in the U.S.
okay. Yes. That's what clears it up. I don't think I have any other questions.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What's your plan then?
Let's see. Hold on. I don't know. So I'm thinking if I'll probably open LLC in in with Delaware. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll probably open an LLC in Delaware, and then sort of take it from there. And I guess the only problem I have is filing the 5472 and the 1120 and getting an EIN. I don't think that should be too much of a problem. Um, so yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds good. I think you got your answer. You're not going to open any kind of offshore company or anything like that, any kind of foreign trusts or something.
Not at this stage. I've thought of the idea of Belize. Um, do you help with that? And
If I don't do something myself, I can generally refer you to someone who can.
okay. Though I don't know what the benefit of opening one in Belize is, because I understand. Okay. Hear me out. So I set up the LLC. I set up a bank account for the LLC, right? And then it accumulates profits, for example. And then I pay myself a certain salary that's to my Indian account, and I get taxed on it, right? Now, whether I do this from my LLC banking account, or whether I have this through Belize, it would more or less be the same.
Well, from my understanding, and this is something you have to confirm on your own, is that when you for Indian citizens, if you have an LLC, you have to pay tax on the profits, whether or not you bring it back to India, because you're not paying tax on
Oh,
it. So
okay,
using a corporate blocker like that might work in order to prevent you from technically having to report all of that in India. Again, I'm not an Indian tax expert, but generally, I think that's my understanding. I don't think it's too far off. Again, I don't think the risk is super high for them to find out or anything, but that's what you have to calculate. I don't know how much money you're making or what you're doing or whatever. Maybe if you're making a lot of money, it might be worth it.
The only problem is having an account in having a company in Belize is banking. Setting up a bank account, I presume, would have to be in Belize itself. I can't get
Yeah, but honestly, most of my clients don't even open accounts in Belize, and I have a good banker actually that I could refer you to. They probably do it remotely, but again, Panama is good. There's a lot of companies or countries you could use, but this is more from a local tax standpoint, and I'm not like an Indian tax expert at all. So I mean, I'm just saying that it might be worth having a second talk with whoever you're doing taxes with in India.
Right. Okay. I'll probably check that out. Yeah. Otherwise, that's it. Did anyone tell you that you look a little bit like Owen Wilson?
Kind of. I've gotten that maybe before. I usually get like like Brad Pitt. I usually get a lot of like George Clooney. I get George Clooney a lot. They're like, you look like a young George Clooney. I'm like, you know what, guys? Come on. So thanks. That's enough. Why you laugh so hard? I was being serious.
Anyway, that was a good one.
Well, let me know if anything else comes up. You have any questions? You get frustrated doing it yourself. You want some help doing everything? You can reach out to us. We're happy to work with you, help you out.
Will do. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Have a great day. Can't believe this guy laughed at me when I told him that people say I look like George Clooney. Come on, man. It was obviously a joke. Hey, so thanks for attending the call, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think I'm going to put probably Indian in the subject so you guys can get to it from the country of India, and you can see a little bit of the perspective there, because that's definitely something to check out, how you should be reporting in India, and that should influence your global tax structure, because the truth is, if you do it right, you won't pay taxes here, but where you're living, they always want money wherever you're living. So whether or not you're in India or you're in Bangladesh, I don't know, it depends. Like it depends your local laws. What's a country where, like Thailand was a good example. I talked to a Thailand person, and they were like, you can earn as much money as you want, you just can't bring it back to the country in the same year. If you bring it back the year after, you don't have to pay tax on it. So there's a lot of nuances, but you have to check out the laws in your local country. And if you're a legal person in another country and you want to do a video with me, like, reach out. I'd love to talk to you. If you're an Indian tax expert, let's schedule a call and go through the weeds and plan this out. I'm working on my next project is going to have a lot of those kind of aspects in it. But in any case, always the answer is always the same. A U.S. company can be useful to any business, in my opinion. So if you want more information about LLCs, businesses in the U.S., entrepreneurship, you should definitely subscribe to this channel, like all the videos, and if you want to talk to me yourself, you can use the links in the description to schedule a call. There's calls with me, there's calls with my team, there's all kinds of different call options. There's favorite videos that are linked down there. The top 2 videos that I have linked on the list are probably the most informative. So they're long, and they're with another U.S. tax expert, and we go over many scenarios, but they kind of get everything done in one video, and they have a lot of touches on the e-commerce. But happy you're here. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Okay? Let's go. Have a great day.